Thank you for tuning into The Sister Show. We're your hosts and your sisters, Alexis and Kennedy. So, Kennedy, tell us what we're getting into today.
Well, as you can tell by the title of our show, we're just a teensy bit fans of Megan Thee Stallion.
Just a little.
And I just really feel like she's been going for it this year.
For sure.
We've been hearing her name in the industry for a long while, but she did her solo tour this year.
Stadium
just really
tour.
Steady elevating every year. So let's talk about it.
For sure. When I think about Megan Thee Stallion, it definitely, my introduction to her was back when I was in school in Tallahassee. My roommate introduced me to her. He was playing some song, and I was just like, okay. I think I was sad. I think I was down bad sad. And he would be driving us different places or whatever, and he will put songs on intentionally, to like make me feel a little better, like put on a little Destiny's Child. And somehow, I guess, very early on, like in Meg's career, he had put on something from Megan Thee Stallion. I'm trying to think of what song it was. It was probably... it was probably Big Ol' Freak. It was probably Big Ol' Freak and Freak Nasty. I think those are probably the two that he had like put out there. And honestly, I'm like, ooh, like, what are we giving? Like really for real, like, oh my God, like what are we listening to? But like there was definitely some, some lines in it. It was like, talk your shit, I'm gonna be okay. Like, whatever. Yeah. So that was definitely my introduction to her would be, Big Ol' Freak, Freak Nasty being one of like the first songs that I heard by her. What would you say were like your first hits from her?
I'd probably also say Big Ol' Freak. So I learned about Meg from you.
What?
He was down there being bad in Florida, and we are to Megan, and it was Big Ol' Freak. Where I was like, damn, this girl is rapping.
Definitely for sure. Yeah. The damn, this girl is rapping is like very accurate. Yes. I would say the song that I heard that I was like, oh, I'm a fan, was her freestyle, the Stallion freestyle. That's why I was like, oh, wait a minute, like this is not somebody we playing with. Like, no, like the
unfiltered, girl unedited. That was like, this is clear. I understand what you're saying. It's clever.
Yes.
It's hidden, like
yes, clear, clever, unique. She's definitely saying like elements of things that you're like, oh, like I wouldn't have put that sentence together that way.
Yeah.
But you very quickly and clearly said it. Like, hey,
yeah,
love me some Megan Thee Stallion.
I really like her freestyles too. Yeah, that Tina Snow album, it was nasty, but it was good.
But at this point in the industry, stuff is pretty freak nasty. So I think it's less jarring now, some of the things that are said, even though I will say Megan included in this, I do feel like everyone's pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
Like what can I rap
How much can I say before they start censoring on the radio?
Yeah. Some of it I'm like, ooh, that's a lot. I'm not gonna listen to this one too loud, know, but
even with Meg, even if it's really nasty, it's still usually clever enough to where you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad.
Yes.
But some people, they just
I'm not gonna put no examples in there. Like you said, like and why did you say that? It was and then why did you say it? It wasn't cute, clever, funny, it didn't sound good. It's just for, what, some of it's just pure shock value.
Yep.
Jinx, Yomi icy. Okay.
What are your favorite Meg songs?
Ooh. I like that's such a hard question, like across her discography. Let's just maybe I don't know. Let me think on it. let me think on that one. Unless you have an answer ready. Are you ready?
I can do a top 3. But not a favorite. Favorite is hard.
Yeah.
But for favorites, I usually sometimes try to think of it as like, if I never heard this song again, which one is like, oh no, I got to keep that one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But top 3, I'm gonna start with something older. Her Running Up freestyle.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, that's a good freestyle.
Then we at the mouth. Yeah.
I was spit it on your head like that's not.
Yeah,
that's clever.
Yeah.
The Running Up freestyle is really good. But after that, I really like Mamushi. The one with like in the original instead of the deluxe of Megan. That one's really good. Atashi Wasta. What was I say after that? After that,
you know who I am.
Traumazine, which is probably my least preferred album, but definitely still good. Still got some hits. Gifts and a Curse.
Oh yeah, really like that's a good one. Yes. Is it Gift and a Curse? Yeah, that one's a good one.
There's like a Keith Sweat remix that someone made. One day.
I have not heard that. You got to say one. Yeah, you got to send me that one.
Like Casamigos, my pretty white toes. Yeah, that's a good one.
My Megan wrist froze.
Those are probably top 3.
Yeah. Also, okay, speaking of Traumazine, Plan B, I know that
Oh
one,
yeah.
everybody knows that one, but Plan B, you need to get hype. You need to get right. Like you really like, oh, before you going into some if it's an interview, you're just not feeling that good for the day. You're really trying to like get like it's really just like, no, like talk your shit in a very it's very clear.
Yes.
It is very clear, like the overall objective. Like I'm that girl.
Mm-hmm.
I am the top. I am the most important. I am the most priority. And I think honestly, that's an important narrative for women in general to hear. I feel like so often you are really being told like, oh no, like you know, you're at the same level slash put your needs behind, you know, somebody else's like needs. And honestly, like that's family, that's relationships, that's friends. Like it really is like damn near like everything. Like no, your needs come after. Like and then once everyone else is good and happy, then you can be happy and do whatever you want to do. So I definitely feel like Megan Thee Stallion putting herself first, talking her shit, being 10 toes, gassing herself up. That as you sing along and repeat the lyrics and things like that, you're like, no, like I can do this. I can handle this. I'm that girl.
Yeah.
Period. And I think that's an important thing for women today, tomorrow, yesteryear to know and hear and say. So
there's not a lot of areas in life that you will hear people saying, "Oh yeah, put yourself first. Always, you know, cater to your needs first. Get your money right first."
Yeah,
you won't hear that everywhere. So
for sure.
Yeah.
So and I'm trying to think, and I was actually very surprised how close together Megan Thee Stallion dropped these last two projects. Happily surprised, but very surprised in general. Because we were in my dad's side of the family is from our dad's side of the family is from Los Angeles. So we were there in June and that's when she dropped her new album. Yeah. That's when she dropped Megan Act 1. Okay. And so I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I'll quickly listen to that whole thing.
Yeah, I think we listened to it on the flight back to Atlanta.
I think I had fully heard all of it, like the when it dropped. So I think I was surprised by the sound of Act 1 because I think when you make a self-titled album, the assumption is that it will sound very, very you, for like lack of better like words. Like, oh no, this is going to sound like your sound. You're not necessarily going to try anything outside of the box. You're not going to try rock. You're not going to try what was the other
other languages even
other languages. Yes. I was surprised by the elements in that album that were newer like to Megan's sound. I'll say no, new to Megan's sound.
I definitely was surprised by that, and I can't think of too many other immediate references for like a self-titled album besides Beyonce, which is like, okay, well that's Beyonce. Yeah, but yeah, I was surprised by the new sounds and that it was just so different in a tangible way compared to like her other works. So I feel like it took me probably the initial listen and another listen and a half. So I was like, okay, wait a minute. Now I found it. Now I
definitely feel some albums when they first come out, you should definitely listen to it in the order that they released it. Yeah. Like I wouldn't say pick around, don't do it. Like just listen to it one time through how they dropped it. And honestly, try not to skip it unless you just dead ass just can't stand it. Then that's valid. Yeah. It's like
So that was Act 1. Yes. And then Act 2, when was it? The October that she dropped it?
I want to say yeah. That sounds correct.
Yeah. After dropping Act 1 in June with a lot of like she'd been talking about it since last year or like heavily suggesting it.
Yes.
Yeah. So that like felt like a very long natural build up. Like okay, and they're gonna drop an album soon. But I feel like Act 2 dropped so suddenly.
It was fast. Yeah. It was fast because it was June was Act 1. October Act 2. I definitely wouldn't expect them to be, and so long too. Yeah. It was not like a deluxe. It wasn't a deluxe version. And then you added like, 3, 4, 5 songs, and a remix that happened. It was like, no, you dropped essentially a full album, a full project that sounded different from Act 1. Yeah. Act 2. Act 2 is my favorite. Of the two, Act 2 is definitely going to be my favorite. Bigger in Texas. Um,
Rocksteady with Flo
Rocksteady.
Milli.
I was so happy to see Flo Milli and Meg
Yeah.
finally collab.
We had literally just been talking like
Yes.
days before the album dropped. We said like, yeah, Meg and Flo Milli really need to get on a song that's like, oh, I know they have one with Lotto and it's like featuring the two of them, but a song that is Flo Milli's featuring Meg or Meg featuring Flo Milli, and they better go on Rocksteady.
Oh! Oh! No,
Yeah.
that was crazy.
Oh, Bourbon,
Bourbon,
Motion.
yes.
Yeah.
Bourbon, Motion.
Mhm.
Let me.
Act 2 is real good.
I just be listening to the album straight through. So it's always a number one rule: bad bitches choose. No, yeah, come on. Best friend is.
Well, what you think about best friend?
Best friend is good. Oh, the fell in love, and he think I love him. Yeah, all of those, and then from there, I feel like it just starts. Oh, then never play, but that was a release as a single. So I think the only ones that were released
2, 3, 4.
As a single. Oh, I thought it was interesting. I had not heard of Spirit Box. I don't know who that is. But I definitely feel like, for the people who wanted to hear a little rock moment, hey, she's giving it to you. She's giving you something different. She's giving. I just think it's growth. It's evolution. Yeah. Whether you liked it or not, whether she decides to do it again or not, she tried, and I feel like that's definitely what life is about. Just trying a little bit, trying something a little different.
Yeah.
So
giving diversity, dipping your toe into lots of different genres, and showing that you still have skill there. Back to Act 1, I think it's Figueroa, where it's like it's pretty breathy. And yeah, I think that wasn't a sound that we were used to her making. Yeah. And so upon first listen, I said, hold on now, and Meg, you all huffing and puffing in my ear.
Why she blowing in my ear like that?
Exactly. Like, but hey, look at me now. Figueroa. Like,
yeah. Every time we link up, it's giving scary hoe. Yeah. Can we flip? Can we show middle fingers on YouTube?
Sometimes people censor it, so I feel like no. Oh. Well,
let's do a double censor.
There was actually a TikToker who did like an experiment or was running an experiment or a series of listening to one artist per month. 1 month, Beyonce, the other month someone. And so she did that with Megan. Megan has a large discography, so you're able to listen all throughout the month. Yeah. And at the end of the month, she was kind of reporting on like how she felt overall. And so when she listened to Meg, she said at the end of the month that she felt, very confident. She felt very capable, mentally strong. And yeah, I think that's definitely the music that Meg makes. She just promotes such positive vibes.
Yeah.
And you can't get that everywhere. Just unapologetically Black. I love myself. I love what I'm doing. I love how I'm growing. I'm still seeking to grow further. Just overall, I feel like a really positive person.
Yes.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. She's always been real about loving anime. As a fellow otaku hot girl, she would say. No, I love that. I think Megan's definitely given anime that final push into pop culture. They won't give her flowers, but I think she definitely, can't touch me like Gojo.
Hey, look good in all my photos.
Every last one.
Kyoto, I'm worldwide. These local.
And so I feel like
okay, that's a good song, y'all.
Arigato.
Arigato.
So let us know why you're a Meg fan or your favorite song of hers, or if you prefer Act 1 or Act 2 of Megan. And thanks everyone for tuning into The Sister Show, and we will see y'all next time. Bye.